Heyo, welcome into the CHGO White Sox podcast presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook. Download the app today and use promo code CHGO when you sign up. Welcome into a remote version of CHGO White Sox, and it is supposed to be a podcast only, but guess what? The podcast publisher is broken. So we got to deliver it some way. You people need a podcast about the White Sox, so we're here to deliver. I'm Sean Anderson. You can follow me on Twitter at Sean_W_Anderson. Alongside me, as always, we're switched up here. Usually the Vinnie's in the lower box, Herb's over here, but Vinnie is over here. He's over there. You can follow him on Twitter at Vinnie Duber. He's our CHGO White Sox beat writer, and the man underneath is Herb Lawrence.
Hello.
You can follow him on Twitter at Eknerwall23. He's our CHGO White Sox community leader. Guys, I was not ready to go live. Completely thrown, as they say, for the pitcher threw a curveball. You know what I'm saying, guys? Really wasn't looking for this one.
Yeah, I mean, it's freezing cold outside. I was ready to cuddle up in bed and just record audio only, and no one would see me. But sweatshirt, sweatpants, under the covers, the whole thing. And instead,
flashlight.
Yeah, instead I had to get all the lighting rigged up correctly here in the living room, and so here we are.
Yeah, just came back from the suburbs, so I'm good to go. I was about to eat a bowl of chili. As Vinny said, it's kind of cold outside. It's chili eating season, so I'll do that after this podcast is done. But I'm glad to be on live with our people. Alex Rude, KPW's in the house, Chef Fidel, or Shea Fidel, and then Pinwheels also. It's also good to be with my people again, and thank you for supporting us, guys. The other day, that Andrew Benintendi news, that one blew up. Thank you very much.
I think Pinwheels is Jared, so shout out to I think he changed his name on us, but he didn't change the profile picture. He had friends that we remember everything. But yeah, that Benintendi, people are excited about that, and they're also mad at me. We don't usually get a lot of negativity, and I don't say it's too negative, but everyone's I think I've gotten at least looking at the comments, 4 people who said, "Why is this guy Sean so negative about it?" And then 3 direct tweets. So hey, I got to give some positivity. And that's why the title of this is sharing some positives, because I have found some. All right. I'm not going to try to be a Grinch this Christmas and ruin your Christmas surprise. All right. There is some positives to Andrew Benintendi. Again, he is left-handed. So we'll discuss that.
Before you start.
Okay. We got time.
You already, before this even, this whole free agency started, you said, if it comes down the White Sox getting Andrew Benintendi out of all the options available, I'll be disappointed. So at least you stuck to those guns. It wasn't just a reaction to what the signing was on that day. You've always kind of been sour on Andrew Benintendi, and as far as what the White Sox need for their offense. So I'll grant you that.
Right. I'm not trying to be stinky. All right. If they signed anybody else, I would be, throwing a parade in the streets, just like they are in Argentina. Look at that transition there. I watched earlier this morning, Argentina win against France in the World Cup final, 3-3 in penalty shootouts. They didn't miss a single penalty shot. France just couldn't hit the net at all. A crazy game where Mbappe, the star of France, scores a hat trick. Messi has 2 goals of his own, and he goes out on top. What'd you guys make of the game, Vinny? I know you were watching Croatia, so sorry about that. But hey, 3rd place ain't bad.
Hey, 3rd place is all right. But yeah, we were actually watching it with a bunch of family earlier today. We had it on delay, or we had it recorded, so we were able to fast forward through all the very few commercials. I'll tell you this, soccer has it figured out. There's just no commercials at all, really, which during a game, which is just fantastic. A tremendous viewing experience. But yeah, what a just very exciting game. All the saves that were being made there toward the end of the second half, with you got defenders flying in and stopping goals by themselves. When the goalie can't do it. So really good game. I'm not a huge soccer guy, obviously, but as I've mentioned on here, followed this World Cup way closer than anything that I've ever than any soccer that I have before, because my wife's so into it, and it was a blast to watch this one, a very exciting game.
And Lionel Messi gets to get out of the shadow of Diego Maradona, win a championship or win this World Cup for Argentina, can retire, can be known as the best soccer player ever. I mean, that's what most people are giving him, the plaudits of that. I still, would go with Pele because I played the video game. I haven't played one Messi video game at all. So I'm going to go with that man. But it's an exciting game. I don't like usual soccer, when it's just some American team or the MLS, but this was exciting. These people know how to play soccer. The skill level was at the peak, and I thought it was over after Messi scored that goal in whatever they call overtime or extra time, but no, they kept on playing, and then Mbappe scores another goal. I was like, why are we doing this? I thought it was sudden death. Play like us Americans. You score a goal in overtime, game's over, let's done. But I'm glad they went to the penalty kicks, because that was supposed to be exciting. And then everybody on France wet their pants, and except for Mbappe.
That rhymed.
Right.
Finally.
Finally? You rhyme?
Finally, I rhyme, yeah.
Has it been a struggle in your life?
Yes.
Difficulties for 45 years. We need to get Herb a rhyme book for Christmas.
You're making me much older. I'm 44. Come on now.
Oh, 44. I'm so sorry. Next year, we'll be 45. I'm just always got Garrett Crochet on the mind. So, I mean, I think there's something about the flags that really make me lock into certain sports, like hockey. In high school, I locked in. I was waking up at 4 a.m. when it was in Sochi to watch the Winter Olympics, because I apparently needed to watch hockey that badly. 2010 was fantastic in Vancouver, so maybe I was just like, oh, it has to be this good each and every single year. It wasn't. But there's something even about soccer too. Like
got that shootout. That shootout though, remember the Oshie Ovechkin shootout? That was pretty great.
Yeah, Oshie just went 18 times in a row. That shootout didn't make a lot of sense, because like in soccer, wouldn't you just have Messi go like 5 times in a row and then Mbappe go 5 times in a row? Like maybe that would be more entertaining soccer. Like I disagree. I think they should play the full 120 minutes. I think American football has overtime wrong. Like there's no reason why both teams shouldn't get a possession, and they kind of fixed it where like you can't just kick a field goal and win. But then again, it's like sudden death in football, so you should be just able to win no matter what. Like I think if you get the ball in overtime and you kick a field goal, you should just be able to win. With
Sean, do you know who didn't like the results today of this game?
France?
No, who?
France definitely didn't. Yeah, they definitely didn't. But I'm sure that with Argentina finally winning a cup, I mean, a guy like Andrew Benintendi, who has Italian roots, not making the World Cup is a big time bummer. And one of the teams that made it and winning over you, Argentina, must feel really hard for the great Andrew Benintendi. I'm just trying to get us back to baseball, because these people are like, what the hell? Who cares about soccer?
So
Soccer
we kind of just want to have a sports discussion, because like, what is like the best game you've seen? Like it could be a baseball game, but like I immediately went to the 2016 NBA Finals, Game 7, where it's the Warriors versus LeBron and Kyrie and Kevin Love, and you have the LeBron block on Andre Iguodala, and then Kyrie gets the shot on the other end, and then Steph has the ball, and you have the star, like just like Mbappe in extra time there, he was able to do it, but Kevin Love was in the way to stop Steph Curry from making a 3. Like it was so dramatic. It was the most dramatic basketball game I've ever watched. LeBron, I think, recorded the first triple-double, or he was one of the only like 4 people to record a 30-point triple-double in a final game. It was just like the greatest game of basketball I ever watched. So like, what other moment sticks out like that? Is it, Jeff Blum hitting a home run, because you need to tie in the White Sox here, Herb, or what other games stick out to you guys?
I mean, I can tie in the White Sox and go a game before that one, or 2 games before that one, where the White Sox and the Astros are battling, and you get the home run from Scotty Podsednik, and you're like, okay, here we go. White Sox are going to win this game. And of course, the Astros come back and take the lead. I think it was Jose Vizcaino with a single there. And then you get the dramatic walk-off home run the opposite. So you get the Paul Konerko home run, then you get the dramatic walk-off home run from Scott Podsednik. So I think that was the most exciting game I've ever watched.
maybe just because this was an international competition, my mind went to what you've brought up already, Sean. 2010, that USA Canada hockey game in the 2010 Olympics. That was pretty remarkable to watch. There have been plenty of Blackhawks games over the last decade plus on that list. I think of some of those ones, that they were using to fuel that streak that they had in 2013. And then obviously too, Herb, I'm sure you'll be kicking yourself that you didn't bring this one up first, but college hoops, Illini and Arizona back in the Elite Eight played at the old was it the Allstate Arena at that point, or was it still the Rosemont Horizon?
It was still Allstate.
But yeah, that one obviously is forever lodged in the memory banks of folks who had a rooting interest in that one for sure.
I'm a little bit behind on this. Mazman, our guy Matt from Oaklawn, sending in a $10 super sticker. I like in the studio usually when they when we have the ham horn. So but I also like in the studio they usually describe the sticker. So it just says super sticker. So I hope it was a really cool sticker. Matt, I hope you picked out a real nice one for us.
Yeah, because usually we can see him, as Sean said, we're in a different formation that we're usually in, especially when we're in the Studio A of the West Loop Studios of CHGO. But thank you very much, Mads, man. It's awesome. The other day, man, people were just sending super chats during that Andrew Benintendi stuff. Right? I was like, what? I was like, pause, guys, calm down. But also bring it through.
Hey, I was awesome to see. I was happy for us. Obviously, we had like 400 people in here, and we have 53 people, and we weren't even scheduled to be on. So thank you guys, and make sure you guys like as well if you guys are liking the product, as Herb says. But even the Cubs guys, like I'm so happy they got a big win in getting Dansby Swanson, and they had like 500 people in their live. Like I feel like, especially now, CHGO Bets is going to be way better because Cody's just got everything, the weight off, and he's still giving the Cubs offseason a C. So he's not, thrilled with what they're doing on the north side, but he's definitely got a weight off his shoulders. So I'm happy for the north siders who got that Dansby Swanson treat.
Yeah, I got a text right after the Dansby Swanson signing was made that was this is all it said. It said Dansby's Garage World. Very exciting.
Perfect. That's awesome.
Gotta mock it up.
Only Chicagoans get that one.
Steven walked away. We gotta get someone to get Joey on the idea to mock the logo up, whatever. Anyways,
that's any other handsome infield too, right there. Patrick Wisdom, Dansby Swanson, Nico Horner. Good looking cats out there.
Should have signed Jose Abreu. He's beautiful.
Some matinee idols over there at the north side.
Who's gonna play first base?
Bradley Cooper. Leave it open. No,
Nick Madrigal probably. What else is he going to play?
Oh my goodness, yeah. Oof, friends.
Yeah,
man. They recruited over Nick Madrigal, or
he's not good enough and tall enough and pretty enough. Apparently,
Sean, you want him back?
No. Do you guys?
Okay.
Nick Madrigal? No. Anybody?
I mean,
Madrigal?
Not really. He's
KJ saying bring
Madrigal back. He's kind of just always injured. But yeah, I mean, I guess the question is like, is Nick Madrigal better than Romy Gonzalez?
Yes.
I mean, more proven. Yeah.
When he plays, yeah.
Is he?
Yeah.
Is he more proven?
I mean, didn't he hit at least 300 in 1 year? I mean, I don't think Romy Gonzalez can do that.
Hasn't really gotten a chance, but
I guess. I mean, did you have that faith? I don't know. I mean, he hit, Madrigal in 2 seasons. 300 in at bats, and he batted 317. So I mean, he hit 317 and OPS is 764. So above average. I don't think Romy showed enough to be like a 109 weighted runs created plus hitter.
The most thing I get frustrated with Nick Madrigal is because I was promised, or I think maybe I was promised, that he's a heads up player. His IQ is high. We saw time and time again that was not the case. His base running was suspect, and he got injured all the time. That's not his fault necessarily, but one of those was his fault where he overran somebody giving him a stop sign up in Milwaukee, and he slid weird, and he like broke his wrist or injured
dislocated his shoulder
or something like that. Yeah, dislocated his shoulder. It was bad slide, and he was out. He was bad, and there's so many times like that, and he wasn't as good defensively as we were promised. Just not. I was glad that they got rid of him and got actual great player for him that just didn't perform.
But man,
And
I mean,
right there, bro.
he was easy to root for when he hit that home run in Target Field. I mean, I know he hit another one in guaranteed rate, but I mean, that first one, that was electric. I think it was off J.A. Happ. Like, I mean, that was what dreams are made of. I never thought he was going to go yard. And then he did it twice in like, what, 2 weeks?
Guys, I could have told you. I was out at the alternate site in Schaumburg during 2020 and saw him just crush a ball off the scoreboard at the Boomers Stadium. So I knew that was coming.
Oh my God. You should have been placing bets on DraftKings Sportsbook. And shout out to Jay Hunter. Very simply, I love you guys. Chicago and living in Houston. We appreciate you. We have noticed, or Herb wanted to look at the Spotify Wrapped stats, and we're in the UK, we're in Australia, we're in Canada. KPW's in the stream, and apparently we're in Houston. So appreciate all of you guys listening, no matter where you're at.
And sweet logo right there by Jay Hunter also. It's nice. But yeah, we have 23 countries covered in our Spotify Wrapped. It's very complimentary, our Spotify Wrapped of our listeners. They're like, once you guys listen, you're looking for the next episode. And as we can see, there's 50 some people in the chat for a show that we just
65.
made up. 65 people in the chat just for a show that we just made up like 20 minutes ago because we had difficulties doing the actual pod only episode. So it's a testament to you guys who keep on looking for our content, and we appreciate that very much so.
Yeah, we are looking for 23,000 subscribers too. I think we're getting close to that Michael Jordan number. So help us out if you haven't already, and you do appreciate the content. Make sure you're hitting the subscribe button. Let's take a quick break, and we'll talk a little bit about the positives of Andrew Benintendi, because I was being too negative on the last podcast. So I'll be nicer this time to Andrew Benintendi. I'm always nice, though, to Greenridge Farm. They're a Chicago local meat and cheese company offering you a better all-natural option, and they are the makers of all-natural deli meats, sausages, and their famous meat sticks. Their meat sticks are probably my favorite thing in the world. They're perfect for tailgating, happy hour, and school lunches. And these all natural meat sticks are hardwood smoked for 8 hours with 16 grams of protein per stick. They make a perfect post-workout snack. And meat sticks come in chicken, black forest beef, and flavors like jalapeno cheddar and spicy chili. If you haven't tried them yet, you don't know what you're missing out on. You can eat them cold. You could eat them warmed up in the microwave. You could even put them on the grill, and they're delicious every single way. And they're delicious because they're made from recipes generations in the making. And being all natural, they deliver a fresh and flavorful alternative at snack time. You can always find them in the refrigerator section at Costco and Sam's Club. And I can always find their deli meat at the Jewels in their deli section. So wherever you are in the Chicagoland area, you can find Greenridge Farm. I was going to say Greenridge Farm. And right now, when you order any 3 meat products at greenridgefarm.com and include a pack of meat sticks in your cart, those meat sticks will be free simply by using code CHGO at checkout. Greenridge Farm, simply natural meat. Also, we got to tell you about ComEd. Like I said, I saw them in my neighborhood, and that's because ComEd, their ComEd Energy Efficiency Program, is committed to helping families and business in the communities we serve manage energy usage and lower energy bills now and into the future. ComEd offers a wide array of incentives on lighting and other efficiency upgrades to commercial, industrial, and public sector customers of all sizes across our territory. And customers can inquire about how to upgrade outdated lighting to energy and money-saving efficient LED lights. Learn more about network lighting to operate your lights through your mobile device and track your facility's energy usage and more. Incentives have recently increased for indoor-outdoor lighting and network lighting controls, making these projects even more cost-effective than ever before. So visit ComEd.com/poweringbiz now to start saving money and energy. And to start a project, contact us at 1-855-433-2700. And for more information, email businessee@comed.com or publicsectoree@comed.com. I found it interesting. We see Justin Turner signing with the Red Sox earlier today. And this is coming out from Craig Mish down in Florida, one of the, or probably the guy down in Florida covering the Marlins. And he said if Justin Turner had picked the Marlins, he would have been making almost twice as much as he is with the Red Sox this upcoming season. And we saw some tweets, I think, especially from Jack Curry from New York, where we saw that Andrew Benintendi really wasn't going to get a multi-year deal from the Yankees and that he really didn't want to stay with the Yankees. So first off, before we get into some of the positives, what do we make of that? That the White Sox were able to make that commitment of 5 years where the Yankees really weren't that committed or, interested in bringing him back for that long.
I think it's good for the White Sox because the Yankees, they can probably see that Andrew Benintendi is good, not great. And they probably have a minor leaguer that's just as good, or a guy they're going to sign free agent wise in the next 4 to 5 years. So to have him locked up for that many years, and it's probably no big deal for them to release a player, DFA a player in their waiting years of their contract, but also they're like, I want him for a certain amount of years in this, which would be his prime years, and not anything past that. They have the luxury of doing that, where they can identify players like, we want them, but we want them at our price. They've already paid Aaron Judge a bunch of money, paid Anthony Rizzo a bunch of money. To pay Andrew Benintendi would not be a problem, but they wanted him at their price. And if he wasn't going to go there, fine. They can go and find another person that can do what Andrew Benintendi does. For the White Sox, it's an awesome move, I think, or a good move. I'm not going too far. It's a move that they needed. Left-handed bat, solid left fielder, a guy that's going to be, the floor is going to be pretty high. He's hit 300 last year, got on base 37% of the time. It's exactly what the White Sox need. A guy to get on base with a little speed and probably a little smarts on the bases. So I'm good with the Andrew Benintendi move, and I'm glad the White Sox saw the Yankees as competition and said, we're going to commit to that 5th year and give you what you want and bring you into the fold.
I mean, different teams have different needs, right? And certainly the Yankees were shopping around for other things. They had to focus on Aaron Judge this offseason, and they did that. They went out and they got Carlos Rodon. I mean, this is a team, obviously, that's not afraid to spend. If they wanted to keep Andrew Benintendi in the fold, they could have found money for him. But when you're committing that much money to just 2 guys, in Aaron Judge and Carlos Rodon, that fill far bigger needs for the Yankees than bringing on just their retaining, I guess, in this situation, Benintendi as their left fielder. The White Sox had a big need in left field. And obviously, as we've read numerous times, this is a guy that they've been eyeing for a long time. So, motivated buyers were the White Sox, whereas the Yankees obviously had other things that they needed to take care of first this offseason.
Yeah, and Clark's saying not everyone can play in New York, and Chicago's definitely going to be a little bit different. And I was surprised to see as well the positive reaction on Friday, where we saw 89% of people say that they had a positive view of this Andrew Benintendi signing. So I dug in a little bit more. Some people were giving some criticism of what I had to say. First off, we did clarify when we were going through the needs for the Sox, and we did all the little boxes. We were checking, we're checking power, we were checking defense, we were checking lefty, and Andrew Benintendi clearly checks lefty, but I had an X for defense and power. I think we ended up talking that the defense was probably just more of a meh, or more of just a neutral there. So we'll walk that back. I don't know if you guys buy into the Gold Glove narrative that much. Like, is Andrew Benintendi a Gold Glove? Are they getting Gold Glove defense? What does Gold Glove defense mean? Are you guys, does that mean anything to you guys?
It strikes me kind of like I look at it how I look at batting average, because I know it's very obviously in vogue to say batting average is worthless and it's terrible. Well, I would say this about batting average: you can be a good hitter with a sub 300 or far sub 300 batting average. If you have a 300 or higher batting average, you're probably a good hitter, though, right? And so I kind of look at this in the same way. Okay, maybe that's not, that one award is not telling us every little thing about how, whether it's fantastic or bad kind of thing. But guess what? If you have a Gold Glove, you're not bad. Like, they don't give Gold Gloves out to guys who are like tripping over their own feet in the outfield. Like, it might not be something where you look at it and say, oh, he's a Gold Glover, it means his defense is elite, and we don't need to look at any numbers. You know what I mean? There can be a disparity there, sure, but it's also like, well, it's not terrible. You'd rather have a Gold Glove than not have a Gold Glove, and I think being a Gold Glove outfielder is certainly something that Andrew Benintendi can hang his hat on. Oh, no matter how you want to define it, it means that it's not a problem. His defense is not a bad thing. It's not a detraction from his game like it is for a lot of players who played for the White Sox last year and are still on the roster in most of those cases. So is he the greatest defensive outfielder that's ever walked the earth? Probably not. Is he an upgrade over what the White Sox had? Absolutely he is.
The only thing that I always bring back when somebody says, hey, that guy's a Gold Glover, I always bring back and say, in 1999, Rafael Palmeiro played 128 games as a designated hitter, 28 as a first baseman. He won the Gold Glove as a first baseman that year.
But wow, Herb, those 28 games. Oh my goodness.
A
masterclass.
He lit it up.
And so it's like, yes, good. You want a Gold Glove, and it usually means the guy is actually good. But we see Derek Jeter's career, where that man won a bunch of Gold Gloves, and we know he's not the best shortstop. Even he wasn't the best shortstop on his team for a long while when A-Rod was still playing third base. So you could take it with a grain of salt. I think in his case, Andrew Benintendi, he was pretty decent in 2021. There was the Royals, and so he was. I mean, I know what the outs above average were, Sean. I think were they like 0?
Yeah.
For
So he had
Benintendi in 2021.
a really weird year in 2019 where he had a -10, an Andrew Vaughn year, Vaughny-like year in 2019 with that monster. But outside of that, he's basically been, -1 for the past couple of years. In 2016, -1 in left field. And I assume left field, right? Because we're thinking Colas
Correct.
in right field or Pop, RC in right field.
Pops.
Royal Crown Colas, yes.
Yes. So 2016 in left field, -1, 2017 -8, 2018 a +4, 2019 a -10. So that's a crazy difference right there. But then 2021, but he only played about 14 games in that year. 2021, he was a 0. And then in 2022, he was a 1 overall. So, or no, he was a 0 overall with taking in the KC and Yankee days. So, he's average. And that's the thing is Andrew Vaughn wasn't. He was giving you a -9 outs above average. So if you're just taking a guy who's a 0, that's a 9 differential. And Andrew Vaughn playing at first base is probably the biggest, help to Andrew Benintendi's defense. Is, he is neutral, which is so much better than where Vaughn was. You did mention 300 hitter, I think, or you mentioned batting average. If you're a 300 hitter, you're probably a good hitter. Well, people did throw this stat at me, so why not bring it up? Andrew Benintendi, in his career, 576 games, a batting average of 324 with runners in scoring position, and weighted runs created plus of 137. I know that's not really his job. He doesn't really need to be driving in runs, but Jose Abreu,
job, though. It's everybody's job.
That's true.
And so often last year, particularly in the first half of the season, the White Sox didn't get it from anybody. And so to get that from literally anyone, it doesn't matter if you're being paid to be the big bopper, the guy who drives in the runs, or if you're the guy who's being paid to set the table. It doesn't matter. There's going to be situations where your number 2 hitter comes up with the bases loaded. There's going to be situations where your number 8 hitter comes up with 2 men in scoring position. So that he has that is a very good thing, because the White Sox so often last year struggled to get runs in, to get somebody who knows what they're doing in that department. Not to say that they didn't have anybody, but to add it to what they've got already is certainly a positive, as we're talking about positives here, Sean.
And Herb, I do wonder too, like, we've been debating about Vaughn and Abreu back and forth. What now, where we've been wondering, like, how do they add? Or, like, it's not just Vaughn replacing him, but how do you replace that, addition? Again, you got to get RBIs when they're important, or at least when they're opportune. 37%, or he's 37% better than the average hitter in that position. So, good things. Does this feel satisfied, or does this satisfy that need where the White Sox see Jose Abreu, who was usually a 30-100 guy each and every year? Does that help you get closer, especially with Andrew Vaughn now moving to first?
Partially, it helps a lot, but it doesn't complete it, where you're lost from what Jose Abreu usually does. And I don't like 2021 or 2022 for Jose Abreu. I'm going to throw out, because I think it was just a year for all the White Sox where they struggled, and this is not regularly what they do. And since Jose Abreu has a long track record, I think, most people would assume that most of his 8 years before that are more the telling thing than what the 2022 year was, even though offensively it was pretty good except for the power. So I'll say that Benintendi being here and so good with runners in scoring position, that partly helps it out. Now go and finish it off with a right fielder. Now, if you want to say that Oscar Colas will be that guy where you don't have to spend any money, you just have to call him up, and it's not that big of a difference between what Conforto can bring you and what potentially Colas can bring you, maybe I'll go there, but I would go with the more of the certainty of Conforto, who has done it in the major leagues before, where Colas has to come up and prove it. So I just need the right fielder to do what right fielders usually do, is corner outfielders usually produce home runs. And since Andrew Benintendi is not necessarily going to do it for the White Sox, they need their right fielder to absolutely hit 25 plus home runs.
That's a tough ask when the guy hasn't played any Major League Baseball before, Herb. And you're absolutely right. This is going to be a team-wide job, replacing what Jose Abreu was able to do so consistently for this team. There's a lot of weight that's probably on Andrew Vaughn's shoulders, a lot of weight that's probably on Eloy Jimenez's shoulders. But I don't think even those two guys, if they have phenomenal seasons, are going to be able to do it all by themselves either. This is something that the lineup top to bottom is going to have to be not just way better than it was last year, but better than it was supposed to be last year in order to make up for the team's best hitter being taken out of it. Benintendi helps. He definitely helps because he can do some stuff offensively that the no one that was going to be the starting left fielder beforehand could do. So, it is definitely a positive development that he is added to this lineup. Their lineup is better today than it was on Thursday with Andrew Benintendi in it. But nobody is making any assumption that Andrew Benintendi is going to come here and, do Jose Abreu's job. I don't think anybody should make any assumption that Benintendi and Colas together can come anywhere close to doing Jose Abreu's job. It is something that not just the 9 starting position players, but the guys on the bench too are going to have to combine to do, and it's not going to be easy. That's for sure.
Yeah, and I mean too, sorry, I was looking up a stat because Jared asked a question that I was trying to answer. What's the estimated of cumulative WAR with Vaughn at first, Eloy healthy of the DH, and then Benintendi in left? I think Benintendi, I mean, if you assume what he did last year or about that, he was worth 3.2 WAR, I think, on Baseball Reference or around that on Fangraphs as well. Andrew, you'd think playing a more natural position and with his just typical offensive output, he'd probably be around a 2 WAR, is I think what I've seen on Steamer projections. Evan, Eloy's just a DH, so it's probably going to be around like 2.5 to 2.6, unless he's really great and he's around a 4, which would be a crazy season for him. But that's 7-9 or so. So it's nothing crazy, and that's again where you need them to hit home runs for this to be successful, and you need the other guys to hit home runs. Again, the positive, I think the biggest positive taking away for Andrew Benintendi is he plays games. Night in, night out, consistently giving you about 130. I know people are a little bit iffy with the Mike Clevenger signing, where he's only pitched 200 innings once in his career. You really don't have that with Benintendi, and now you can just plug him in at left field and hope that everyone else does their job. And that's why I think Herb, I don't know, I think right field's fine. I'm fine with RC, especially with the nickname we've given him, being that opening day right fielder. It seems like Racon's set on that. I would rather see them put money not in Conforto, but into second base and go get Gene Segura, like you've mentioned him. That's a guy that was just on a World Series team. That seems like a guy that would be able to help a team get there. And, we saw him be on a Phillies team that was much worse defensively, and they still got the job done. So I think he would be a nice addition. He wouldn't solve the home run problem, but I don't know if you can actually find that on the free agent market with second base. But you have to do something, I think, at least at second base. I still feel like it's going to be a trade. I don't think they're going to spend more money. But Vinny, what do you think about, Herb saying Colas a little bit iffy about that on opening day?
I mean, yeah, I don't think there's really any way to be perfectly confident in a guy who's never played Major League Baseball before.
But or second base, I guess. I phrased the question wrong because you kind of already said that piece about Colas.
Right. I guess the question is, are you more? What would you rather have? Oscar Colas in right field or Romy Gonzalez at all at second base? I think I'd lean towards Colas just because the ceiling would be so high there from what the White Sox have said about this guy. So if I had to choose between which of those two spots would I upgrade first, it would definitely be second base. I mean, heck, I think second base remained a larger need than left field, and we're here talking about them filling left field in a big way. But yeah, second base is concerning to me in terms of the confidence that I would have in what they've got there right now. So yes, I would think that going out and getting somebody would definitely be on the to-do list for the rest of the winter. And we saw it last year. We saw it materialize in the form of Josh Harrison last year. I wouldn't be surprised to see that level of player, come back again. I think the hope for them is that they can get somebody even more productive. Certainly more productive than Harrison ended up being last year. But second base is definitely a need, and would be the place that I would think would be the top of the priority list for the remainder of the offseason.
All right, and just to wrap this up, go ahead.
I looked up what the projections for the Steamer for next year. It's about what you were saying: 2.2 for Vaughn, 2.3 for Benintendi, 2.4 for Eloy.
Only 2.3 for Benintendi?
Yeah,
average. That's average, folks. 2 is average WAR. So Andrew Benintendi a little bit above average, like barely above average.
Aren't these like 50 percentile projections? What they do right here with the Steamer?
Yeah. I mean,
they're not like outsized. That's what they think of his production is going to be next year for the White Sox. They think they're going to come over here and be natural White Sox, just average.
World Series, folks. Yeah, that's the goal.
I expect them to get on 36 or 33% of the time next year.
Yeah,
265 average.
I don't know if I buy into the whole walk tool. I mean, someone was mentioning that, and they were like, they're both guys that walk 10 to 15% of the time. And this was about Conforto and Benintendi. And I was like, yeah, but Conforto's at 12.6, so he's closer to that 15 percentile, where Benintendi's 9.8, so he's closer to that 10 percentile. Like, there is a little bit of a gap here. But just to wrap this up, I mean, even with runners in scoring position, last year the Sox was weighted runs created plus was 112, so they weren't awful at it, but nothing great. They were 14th in the league, so about mid. But Benintendi again 137. But his career walk rate with the runners in scoring position is about 13.8%. His strikeout rates are about 14.1%. So, awesome. I mean, he has a very 1-to-1 walk to K ratio right there. So, yeah, he really is still able to focus in and still keeps up his line drive rate, still about 20%. So he still seems to be the same hitter and is able to focus in. He did also talk, I think this is in The Athletic. I'm not sure if James had it or if this was in a former piece, because it seemed like it was still a quote from KC. But it was talking about the way he had to change his swing because of Kaufman and how difficult it was to hit home runs. So maybe if there is the 100th percentile of Andrew Benintendi, and I guess this is my final quote unquote positive, can he have like a Johnny Damon like year in Yankee Stadium where he hits like 40 home runs, right? Oof. I mean, Yankee Stadium, Johnny Damon was hitting him into the second deck. No one thought Johnny Damon was ever going to be a 40 home run guy. I mean, like, is Guaranteed Rate Field, where they have the third highest park factors for home runs for lefties, going to be able to produce a crazy Andrew Benintendi season? Like, am I missing something here?
Well, it's not something you should be hanging your hat on, I don't think. 40 home runs for anybody. I think we're still waiting for 40 home runs from the guy who hits all the home runs in Eloy Jimenez. I don't think you should be going to the new guy who's not known for the pop and start assigning him a 40 home run season. But listen, can he hit some home runs? I think yes is probably the answer. And, it might not be anywhere near as impressive as some of his new teammates. I think we would expect big performances, big numbers in those categories from Eloy and Andrew Vaughn and even Luis Robert. But if we're talking about big home run numbers, probably not what Andrew Benintendi is being brought in to do. That would be my guess.
And it actually wasn't. This is why we should have a producer on these shows. But hey, this was kind of last minute. Johnny Damon actually never hit 40. His career high was 24 twice. So hey, maybe I should have said Andrew Benintendi if he hits 25. Maybe that's the 100th percentile. But maybe it's possible in Guaranteed Rate.
Sean's out here boosting Johnny Damon's Hall of Fame case is what he's doing.
Hey, someone needs to do it. I got Mark Burley and Johnny Damon to drag into Cooperstown.
If the 2021 Andrew Benintendi shows up at Guaranteed Rate this year and does similar things, yeah, he can hit 25 home runs easily. He was in the 66th percentile of hard hit balls, and his barrel percentage was 55%. Like last year was just off barrel percentage. You referenced that article. Maybe he was adjusting to what Kauffman Stadium gives him. I saw a bunch of hits down left field. He was letting the ball get deep and going down that line and going into the gaps there at Kauffman Field. or Kauffman Stadium. And so maybe he did adjust, because remember, Kauffman is short on the corners, and Vinny knows this more than anybody, short on the corners, but it goes out like after that. So it's a good ballpark to hit straight down the line. But if you're trying to go right center, left center, it's going to be some things to do. In center field, man, only giants slip up there like Luis Robert.
Well, and yeah, I mean, hey, I mean, the bullpen is just direct, hit it to the bullpen in guaranteed rate field. And that, and that's really not really down the line. As long as you got some gap power, you'll be good at the G rate. But Benintendi, like you mentioned, 2020 or 2021 was a great year for him. And if he played expected home runs by park, if he played at guaranteed rate field for 162 games, 29 home runs. So, hey, if he hits 30 home runs or near 29, I got no complaints. We'll take a quick break, and we have another outfielder to talk about. You thought Victor Reyes was going to be the only minor league option. Shame on you. We got another guy that's going to be joining the team in spring training, and we'll tell you about him just after the break. You're going to be in Arizona, Vinny. You're going to need to be using your Shady Rays. Shady Rays never understood why sunglasses were so expensive, so they set out to change it. You don't have to break the bank for quality sunglasses this fall, and it is still fall. We're closing in on winter, about 3 days. So
it's about 15 degrees outside, Sean. It is winter.
I wore shorts outside today.
Classic fall weather.
Why?
15 degrees.
Because it was going to be quick outside. I was going to be real quick because our friends at Shady Rays have got you covered. Shady Rays are premium polarized shades featuring world-class optical clarity, substantial durability, and styles catered to everyone and every lifestyle. And the best part about Shady Rays, they have the most insane protection program in all of eyewear, lost and broken replacements. If you lose or break your shades on day one, they told us they will send you a brand new pair, no questions asked. So if you were just running out, really quick, but you needed to protect your eyes and maybe throwing out the trash like I was in your shorts, and then you throw them in the trash and throw the garbage on them and then break them, they're not going to ask about that. They're just going to send you a new pair if you do that on day one. And they also stand behind their product and told our team that if anyone has a problem, they throw profit out the window and do what it takes to get it right. They offer free returns and exchange, and you either love these shades or Shady Rays will pay them to ship them back. That's it. So exclusively for our listeners, they're running their deepest deal of the season. Use code CHGO for 50% off 2 or more pairs at shadyrays.com. Buy one, get one free. You get 2 pairs for as low as $54. Redeem only at shadyrays.com, where you can find all their newest and best shades. And then also Athletic Greens. I got to find a better. I was never good with transitive words in school. I leaned on also and a lot. Gotta work that. I don't know. Athletic Greens.
Next is a good one.
Next. Athletic Greens.
That's the coach. Next.
Athletic Greens has been our partner that I've been using for the past 9 months since they started with us back on March 4th when we started CHGO. They have been a partner with us, and my brain, has been acting a lot better since I started taking Athletic Greens back on March 4th. What's it called? The grammar hasn't improved, but my health, my immune system, that is all improved because with one delicious scoop of AG1, I absorb 75 high quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens to help me start my day right. And it does have a mild tropical taste, so you're not starting your day right in a weird awful way. I look forward to it each and every morning. And this special blend of ingredients, again, supports my gut health, my nervous system, my immune system, my energy, my ability to recover, my ability to focus, my ability to do this podcast. So thank you, Athletic Greens. And it's lifestyle friendly, whether you eat keto, paleo, vegan, dairy-free, or gluten-free. And Athletic Greens has over 7,000 5-star reviews, and it costs you less than $3 a day. So take care of yourself. It's time to reclaim your health and arm your immune system with convenient daily nutrition. It's just one scoop of cup of water. It's just one scoop in a cup of water every day. That's it. No need for millions of different pills and supplements to look out for your health. To make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs for your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/CHGO socks. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/CHGO socks to take ownership over your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. Thank you, Athletic Greens, and thank God that's over. All right. Billy the Hitter is back on a minor league, folks. He's back. Yeah. Pop the champagne. Billy the Hitter's back. He went away for a year. He went down to Miami. Can't blame him. And then he went up to Minnesota and enjoyed 7 games there. So what do we make of Billy the Hitter returning to the South Side? You're wearing a Minnesota jersey. Minnesota. Look at you.
He was a very, very good presence on that team in 2021. Obviously, he had some moments, won a couple games for the White Sox with the bat, as well as that amazing diving catch he made in the pouring rain up there at Target Field. Certainly one of the more memorable moments of that 21 season, I think, was that catch. That was the best catch of that season, far and away, for the White Sox. But he was a very good personality on that team, and he found some stuff in himself that I think he had not experienced in the years prior, be it from a confidence standpoint or just an ability standpoint. The numbers maybe didn't end up looking so great, and I don't think anybody expected them to, but he was a valuable part of the dugout. He was a valuable part from a culture standpoint. Was able to give back as much, from a vibe standpoint, if you want to call it that, as he received from guys like Tim Anderson and the whole have fun group that the White Sox had cooking there for a little while when they were on the upswing before 2022 hit. So who knows if this is going to turn into any actual playing time for the major league team, but the White Sox could use some depth. And if that's what this turns out to be, then good. I don't know if anybody looks at a minor league signing and ever goes, all right, he's going to be on the team for the entire season, but he might not even make the team. Who knows? But definitely a positive presence from his previous stint on the South Side, and if he can contribute some of that, it'll be a good thing. And if he plays well enough to earn a spot on the big league club, it means that he's doing something right and could provide valuable tools for the White Sox, even if it is just speed and defense at the end of the day.
I know Billy Hamilton's numbers in 2021 with the White Sox don't scream out, wow, he had a great year, but numbers lie sometimes. Like, the actual effect he had on that team was great. I mean, the guy just brought an energy and would field it. As Vinnie said, the catch in Minnesota, probably the catch of the year that year. And it was so amazing and so electrifying. Like, when Billy got there, all of us pretty much thought that, here's a pinch runner guy that's going to be really bad with the bat. And I don't necessarily feel like through the 2021 year that I was like, man, Billy Hamilton's in the lineup, we're not going to get any hits. And that's
a lot of people did, Herb. A lot of people did think that. If my Twitter mentions were any indication, anytime Billy Hamilton was in the lineup, but you're right. I think in that he was probably more valuable than everybody thought he was.
Yeah, and I'm looking up an article from some young guy, April 23rd, 2021, Vinnie Dubert. He's NBC Sports Chicago. He's got an article about Billy the hitter, and it's a great one. If you guys want to go back and look at it, Vinny's a talented writer. We should get him over here. This guy was saying that TA was instilling confidence in him where he didn't have it going through his career. Go to his baseball reference page and look at all the negative OPS pluses there. He was not getting it done after the late Cincinnati years, and then after that, just being bounced around from team to team to team. The White Sox and what TA did for him to give him some positivity and say, you're not just Billy the runner, you're Billy the hitter. You can do it. You've hit in the past. Why not now? And that being back on the White Sox, him being with Tim again, maybe that sparks up the player again. Maybe that helps Tim too, to have some motivation, to have a guy that he's familiar with in the clubhouse again and can lead this team to better things. Because I know the 2021, which I was not in the clubhouse, I don't think ever one day, but I don't know if you got a chance to speak to this team. It just felt like that team was just much more alive, and that could be results of wins, and they were doing things well, but it just felt better. I don't know. The swag was still there in 2021. The 2022, they, as Jose said, they felt like cocky instead of confident.
Well, yeah, I mean, looking at Billy's Fangraphs, like, it's hilarious just seeing the jump that he took that year. If we're looking at isolated power, he is never, well, I don't want to say never. There was one season where he had more than 100 games, or at least, more than 50 plate appearances, where he had an isolated power over 1. Okay, that's a slugging minus average. So a .105 in his rookie year in 2014. Then in 2021, he had one at 157. That's higher than Andrew Benintendi's career. All right. So he just absolutely had this one season where he just started slugging the ball. Hard hit percentage was over 20%. That was the first time in his career as well. Just funny the way that he was able to really adapt everything that Tim Anderson was taking. Usually a guy that was around a 7% walk rate each and every season down to 3 because he was just looking at balls and swinging at them just like Tim Anderson. So he kind of took on that swag, took on that vibe, and it worked for him. So, hey, it'd be cool to see him come up and replace people, when they need them. But I hope it's not a guy they rely on. Pinwheels is saying in the chat, like, maybe the new rules of stolen bases are going to help. If you throw over twice, then it's an automatic, like you have to then throw the pitch. You can't pitch over again. Billy Hamilton last year between the majors and minors, 15 stolen bases, 1 caught stealing. Stole 10 major league bags. So, I mean, he still got that, tool.
I don't think he was caught stealing at all when he was a White Sox either. So he's pretty flawless the last couple of years where he's stealing bases, not just going, but making it safely.
Oh, 9-0.
Sorry. Awesome. See, what is that? So that's 25 in the last 2 years, only getting caught once.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty stellar.
Good.
He's only 32 too. He's not old as we think he is. He's 32, still, just a little past his prime.
Yeah, I mean, this is just, hopefully he can give you something if someone gets hurt. I don't think Billy Hamilton's going to be an option. But one thing, too, the White Sox were really good at stealing bases last year. 58 stolen bags, only 10 caught stealing. They led the majors in stolen base percent at 85%. They were above 90% for some time earlier in the year. But then I think Tim got hurt, and then Adam Engel started playing less. So, they just got a little bit worse at it. But any final Billy the Hitter thoughts? I think we've exhausted this topic enough until he plays more baseball.
Yeah, until I see him in spring training, that's probably going to be the last Billy Hamilton conversation we have.
He's back. Yay. All right.
Yeah, people are bringing up the name of Adam Engel, and that's pretty much for me. That signals that Adam Engel, with the signing of Reyes and also Billy Hamilton, they're both minor league deals, that they're probably not going to bring back Adam Engel.
The non-tendering didn't signal it to you, Herb?
I mean, that did, but they've always, non-tender people, and then it's like, okay, like, come on back here.
Mercy.
Just like the great Mark Payton.
Hey, he's a vibes guy. He didn't need to be on the 40, man. He was just helping out his hometown team. All right, make sure that you are, make sure that you are subscribing to us on YouTube, just because right now this is the main way that we are able to deliver our podcast to you. So make sure you're subscribing to our YouTube channel. And hey, while you're here, we got 86 people. Make sure you're liking the video as well. We really do appreciate it. That's Vinnie Duber. You can follow him on Twitter at Vinnie Duber. He's our CHGO White Sox beat writer. That's Herb Lawrence. You can follow him on Twitter at Ecknerwall23. He's our CHGO White Sox community leader. We will probably tomorrow be looking at second baseman since they already got a left fielder. Why not talk about the second baseman? Maybe if we do more topics where we check boxes, they'll start bringing more people over. So we'll start checking some boxes tomorrow, and we'll be looking at the trade market and free agent market. So do your homework, guys, on second baseman that you like. But thank you, everybody, for joining us on this impromptu version of CHGO White Sox. Thank you again for watching. Thank you to Vinny, Herb. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Go Sox. And then, hold on, I got to...